I've actually mentioned this pouch in a couple other reviews of different types of pouches and travel things, and I've never talked about this pouch itself, so I thought it was high time I did that. So I've had this pouch for probably 3 years, something like that. I've carried it on and off. I've gone stretches where I don't use it at all, and then stretches where I'm bringing it with me all over the place. I've tried a bunch of different loadouts with this. This one here is just one that I played with at one point and felt the best out of everything I've tried for this particular pouch, and so it's just more or less what stayed in there. I've tried using it as sort of like a first aid pouch for chargers and that kinds of stuff. I find it most useful for me to treat it as an extension of like a Surge, or I carry this or the Arc a lot of the times in my pocket. I don't really carry pocket knives that often anymore. I mostly have a multi-tool. And so the thought behind this would be it's slim, it's easy to throw in a sling bag or a backpack or just bring with you when you're going to go outside and like set it near where you're going to be working. So part of what's in here is sort of a logical extension of this. It assumes I already have a multi-tool on me. What stuff that I don't always have, say the belt holster to carry this in, but it would be useful to have this if I'm in a scenario where I'm like, I need a little bit more screwdriver than the built-in one here, and I don't want to have to go get my regular screwdriver. I also have a ratchet bit, same deal. So I should do a separate video on this talking about why this is so cool to me. I've got the extra saws that you get with the Surge. I like carrying this in here. Even if I'm going to be wearing the belt holster while I work outside, I've found that using like the bit kit and this at the same time makes the pouch really, especially with one as big as the Surge, kind of hard to get it in and out. So I leave that in here. And I've also got a collection of my favorite bits to bring with me that I just have found over the years that I need the most often. So I've got 2 sizes of Phillips. I've got a large flathead. That one's not obviously as useful because there's a good flathead on the Surge, but this one I could use actual sockets if I needed to. That's an Allen wrench. And then these are 4 sizes of Torx. They don't correspond to what's printed on here. That I just find that I need a lot for knives, multi-tools, etc. So it would just be nice to have with me. This obviously pairs really well with this or the ratchet here for if I need something a little more dedicated than what's in here, but still don't need to go to a tool bag to get like a big screwdriver or wrench or something like that. This obviously I'm not going to be using in like big construction because you often need more than 6 feet, but for just a little tool while you're just doing random puttering around to be able to measure something that's a few feet, that's really helpful. Sewing needles is something I put in there semi-recently. I can't say that I use it all the time, but there have been occasions doing gardening or whatever where I get a snag or something on one of my work gloves or a pair of pants or something, and I figured if I was out somewhere doing that kind of work and not going to be necessarily inside for a while, it might be useful to just have the ability to patch that. I'm still tracking down a small spool of thread to use in here. I used up the last of the one that I had. I don't use that often, but this and the nail clippers are things that I find you use them more if you just have them handy. I don't always think to like trim my nails nice, but if it's there, I'm more likely to do that. Sharpies are just useful for a variety of things. Writing on things, signs, cardboard, making marks on wood to make cuts. That's just super handy, and the total weight of this is not bad at all. I know some people's configurations, they really jam their pouches full. They would have stuff going across the other way, using up every little gap here. I'm not opposed to that, but for me, if it's a pain in the butt to open this and quickly just find what I need and put it in and put it out, I won't end up using it. That's just what I found about myself. And so I sort of lightly loaded this with whatever's comfortable to just slide in here. I feel like this adds enough functionality that it's worth bringing it, but it's not complicated on the inside to deal with. And it's not overly heavy. In a backpack, I wouldn't worry about it, but if I put it in a sling bag or I'm just going to carry this on its own, I figure the whole point of it is I'm trying not to have a whole tool bag. What is a minimal type of thing? I've just had some luck with that. Figured it was worth sharing. I've talked about this bag as a comparison to other ones in reviews about those other bags, and then it struck me like I keep referencing this. I've not really talked about it. Let me know if there's any tools in here or ones like it that you'd be interested in having me talk about, especially if it's something that I own. I'm definitely considering doing a video about this bit ratchet, just to talk through how interesting it's been and why, for me, I almost never use a real, quote, real screwdriver anymore, because this is just so nice most of the time and so capable. Anyway, share your pouches and tools that you've used in different configurations, especially if you've noticed you didn't used to like them and now you really do, or maybe you used to carry this all the time and it's changed how you do it. I would love to hear from you about that. And otherwise, I hope you join me in the next video. Thanks for watching.